Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Pochi Bubble Tea Spill the Tea. We have our usual trio with us. We have
Megan,
Sai,
Megan,
and today we're going to go over a quick just chat about what you can expect when you first get brought on as a team member here at Pochi, because that's a huge question that we get pretty often. What can I expect on my first few weeks or first few months at Pochi? So as these three we have our managers here. Maylin is in charge of the stores, our store directors, and
I've done a lot
has
of
been a store manager and onboarding as well. I think that you guys have a lot of really good insight on what people can expect when they first get brought on. So go ahead, ladies, spill the tea. What can people expect?
Well, I can probably give the whole rundown because I actually do a lot of the onboarding process, but I kind of want to hear from your guys' perspective, like what should new hires expect?
I feel like you're definitely working side by side a lot, which makes things a lot less intimidating, because I remember coming in and it was pretty busy, like first time working in store, and there's just a lot going on between, at least for Linwood, like the kitchen and like drink making and stuff. But like I can't say that you're not like thrown in right away too. Like you definitely get that firsthand experience right off the bat. But I think before that you do a lot of training online.
Yeah.
Forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get like the good basic of things and good idea of things. But then you can expect to definitely be very hands-on right off the bat as well.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure. And I would say it is a little less intimidating that you're not exactly thrown into everything all at once. I would say that you're more put into like specifics until you can master a specific portion of the job, and then you're able to move on to the next portion, master that, move on to the next portion, and then after that you become pretty well rounded at everything. So then I would say after your training period of a week or two, I feel like one would be pretty comfortable just working in store and taking on each position as they come.
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know if we definitely don't still do this, but I remember when I got hired, I was sent home with like a binder of like all the drink the printouts of all the drink recipes, and I was like, here, try to learn these. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like 5 pages of like all the recipes.
We definitely have a different approach now.
Yeah.
There's like pattern, like it seems intimidating. I feel like a lot of it, but like you can definitely get the hang of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's actually one of the things that I get asked about a lot from somebody who does get either interviewed or hired on is, am I expected to memorize all the recipes? And I'm like, and that's a big fear for a lot of people, because it is a lot to memorize, because especially if you're in school already, have a second job, like that's a lot of new information to take in. And so that's like a legitimate question right there. And I always tell people, and I think it eases their mind a little bit, that there are patterns that you're not expected to memorize every single drink recipe. You'll memorize a lot of them for sure, but the important part is to get down the formula or the key concepts of the recipe, because there is a pattern, there is structure to it that a lot of people don't necessarily realize right away. But they catch on after a while, and they start to learn what the formula is and how to use it. And that's when they start memorizing.
And it'll always be like
the recipes
available.
Yeah.
Yeah,
by
exactly.
the drink station.
There's no harm in double checking.
Yeah.
I still
do that
double
all the
check.
time.
All
for
the
like
time.
nothing at the bottom, like just crazy
Yeah.
adjustments. I'm like
The thing with memory is it messes with you. You don't always memorize or remember things correctly.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
sometimes we'll have a debate and we'll be like, how do you make this? And then we're like, oh,
No,
shoot,
you're wrong.
Let's go look.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
There's something to reference all the time. There's resources. Like you're never going to just be like without any resources.
Yeah, you're
or
never
on
left
your own.
hanging.
Yeah, exactly. So I know that's a huge fear for a
I
lot
know
of
that
people.
seems kind of intimidating when somebody looks at our menu, it's massive, right?
Yeah.
It's like I have to memorize, I have to know all of those.
Yeah.
That's not even with like the adjustments and stuff too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as soon as you say no ice, we have to change the recipe a little bit
Yeah.
to keep the flavor. As soon as you say no toppings, we got to change the recipe a little bit because
Yeah.
the flavors are going to be different. So I know that's something that a lot of people find intimidating. But yeah, it's like, one, if you're new, you got to know that you've got a whole team that's got your back.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
there to support you.
Yeah.
And you also have a whole team that hasn't memorized the whole recipe list either. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's memorized the whole thing.
No, because it takes a lot of brain power, and there's more important things that could be going towards,
Mhm.
Yeah.
especially when you have a whole recipe chart on the wall that you can just reference.
Yep. So I mean, when new hires come in, I tell them, it's like, it's not rocket science. As long as you understand like fractions and stuff, you can figure out whatever recipe there is, because
Yeah, absolutely.
you don't need to know the specific recipe. You need to understand the principle behind our recipes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Aside from that, one of the big things that people get worried about is Pochi gets so busy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
So what would you guys tell the people that like are worried about like how busy it gets? Because sometimes that lobby is full. I've seen that line go around and then snake around and almost reach the outside. Like it'll go all the way around the store and then all the way near the garbages and then right back out to the door.
Yeah, I think that for sure can seem intimidating at first, but I think the way that we structure our team and how our managers are able to organize the team during times like that, everyone is really positioned in a way that they have their own responsibilities, and no one's necessarily in charge of everything all at once. Everyone has their own section and their own responsibility where it's manageable, and all you really have to worry about is perfecting what you're doing, not necessarily worrying about what another person is doing, because it all kind of works together and all the cogs come together to make a good final product. So
Yeah.
as long as
Yeah.
you can focus on doing your position well, you should be fine.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
okay to ask for help.
Yeah,
and
of
ask
course.
Questions.
I feel like you'll learn that flow is like the number one thing when it gets busy.
Yep.
Mhm.
Communicating with your team members is also really important.
Yep.
Even the manager. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sai.
I feel like going off what Megan was saying, like we would make the most mistakes when all of us are getting overwhelmed and trying to go to different sections and different
Mhm.
places. That's when things get missed or made twice, or
Mm-hmm.
so like it was very important to keep like
In
your designated section,
yeah,
but also
exactly.
keeping like communication.
Yep. Even kind of going off of that, actually, I feel like Raza. Kind of going off of that, like even the manager or CSM, the manager that's charged for that hour, their only responsibility is the team.
Mm-hmm.
Like making sure the team is good. They have what they need. They're the ones responsible for just the flow of the store. They're not necessarily responsible for like everything. It's all at the same time. It's just, is everybody doing what they're supposed to be doing in that position?
Mm-hmm.
So even the CSM or the manager on duty for the hour is responsible only for perfecting one thing, which I know can be overwhelming sometimes because there's a lot of moving parts. But I think the scariest thing about working here is actually alleviated from the support of everyone that's with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And I think a big portion of that is, especially as a manager myself, having trust in your crew members and knowing that they're going to do everything to make your job easier, essentially, and that they can perform in a way that you're able to manage them and assist them where you can, and have that open communication that makes sure that everyone is doing what they're supposed to do, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, they just coming together as a team, working together as a team, relying on each other, and working with the person like next to you, like helping them out, or seeing how, like, you know, if you do have any questions, asking for that help, and communicating and working as a team together is so important.
Yeah, definitely be prepared to have a lot of questions, which is like a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, more questions
'Cause
about
there's a lot of things
Yeah.
to have questions
So
about.
I know, like, as a new hire, people get really scared to like not know what they're doing or look like they don't know what they're doing. So they're scared to say something, ask for help, or or just be like sticking out, you know, like being like that
Mhm.
problem child, you know, and that's okay. We like, I like to tell our new hires this, like, it's okay that while you're new, you're asking lots of questions, because literally the last thing we want to do in the middle of a rush is remake a 10,000 drinks because every single one was incorrect.
Yep.
Mhm.
So we rather you ask the question right off the bat, get it correct, learn it correctly, and then get better over time. You get faster naturally over time with time and experience. So it's not that you don't have to worry about being really slow and holding back the team. You like, we encourage the questions. We expect you to have questions. So we rather you ask us those questions and just be open about it, and ask as many questions up front,
Yeah.
because that helps us out in the long run anyways, and it helps whoever is a new hire at the time learn as well.
Mm-hmm. And there's no expectation to be perfect, because no,
Exactly.
even the longest working crew members here, no one's perfect. Everyone has made a mistake. Everyone has messed up in some way, and as long as you're able to recognize those mistakes and grow from it and improve in the future, that's really all that matters. So
Progress over perfection.
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest thing. It's just learn to ask questions.
Yeah.
You're going to make mistakes, make lots of them, learn from them.
Learn from them. Don't keep
That
repeating the
that
same
is
thing.
important. Learn from your mistakes. First time's a mistake. Second time's a choice.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Thanks, Martel.
One of Ralph's famous quotes.
I stole that from Martel.
Really?
Yeah. I forgot. I don't know where he picked that up from, but
The
now
internet.
when he repeats,
Internet.
whenever he repeats a mistake, I give him the same thing. It's like, first time's a mistake, and he can finish the rest. But yeah, some of the best new hires that we've had, or the ones who have improved the most, are the ones who have asked, hey, what should I be doing next? How should I do this? Is there a better way for me to do this?
Yeah, just a willingness to learn
Mm-hmm.
and openness to learning, I think, is really important.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people get really nervous and scared sometimes, and almost like too overwhelmed. And that can actually bite you in the butt sometimes when it comes to learning, at least, and progressing, because when your focus is so, if you're like psyching yourself out, you know,
Yeah.
and you're so nervous, you literally can't retain anything, because like literally your nervous system is just so out of whack that there's no way you're going to retain anything, first of all. But like, it's just hard to learn and pick up things and retain things that way. So it's like, we really do our best to help you feel comfortable and welcomed to our team. Because we do want you here as a new hire. Like, you're already a part of our team, and everyone's so welcoming and so nice and so helpful. But we also know that can hinder your learning process if you are really nervous around people, or you're nervous to do the job, or you're not as confident. Like, we do our best to really try to make you feel welcome and comfortable in the setting. That's why we try to encourage you to get to know everybody. That's why our team tries really hard to get to know you right off the bat. Not because we're being like nosy, which we kind of are sometimes, but
Hey, family is nosy.
Yeah.
We would just want
yeah,
the same done onto us.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
We would want to make other people feel comfortable in the same
yeah.
way.
We know how scary it is
Yeah,
to start a
of
new
course.
job. It's scary.
Yeah. It's not just work too. Like, I feel like we
Yeah.
all like connect on a deeper level. Like, if you're a new hire, expect people to like want to ask to hang out outside of work. Like,
Form some bonds.
yeah, definitely. It's deeper than just like working, clocking off, peace out.
You want to feel like you have people in your corner, right?
Yeah.
Like a
Because,
community.
yeah, because like, how much better do you do things, or how much more confidence do you have in yourself when you have that friend who's like, I have your back no matter what, you know, kind of
Yep.
thing. Like,
Especially during a rush. That's like what
Yeah.
would get us through a rush. Like,
yeah,
you love who you're working with. It's fun. Like,
Yeah.
you're stressed out, but like everyone's in it together.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
Exactly.
this.
The
like,
spirit is like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh my god, this sucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And there are people who think that, and they never last too long. Like,
Mm-hmm.
It's all about like your mindset.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's really fun when like it would be super, super busy and like everyone's just like in a good mood and there's
Mhm.
like not trying to intimidate new hires, but like ticket like stack of like 60.
Yeah.
And you all just like,
Yeah.
dang.
I mean, it does really take encouragement from the team to get through times like that. And we had him on the podcast in an earlier episode, but one thing that stuck with me from one of our old team members, Andrew Santos, he would always say one drink at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always really stuck with me. Even if I'm not making drinks, it's just kind of a reminder to slow down, think about what I'm doing in the moment, and realizing that it's better to perfect one thing than try to, I don't know, run myself
Yeah,
rampant,
that's true.
trying to control everything in the situation.
There's a saying that I like to use a lot, and I always mess this up. So Ralph is going to have to help me out with this because I always mess it up. But slow is smooth is fast.
Hey.
All right.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah. Fast.
Because you have
That's so
to
true.
slow down a bit, right, to get faster. Because sometimes people like rush into things and start making a ton of mistakes because they're not being very thorough, or they're not making sure they're doing things correctly,
That's true.
or because they're trying to go so fast, it's so chaotic that they're just creating more mental chaos
Yeah.
for themselves. Where if you just slow down and go slower, know what you're doing and focus on the first step in front of you. So whether that's one drink, one food order, one ticket at a time, and do that really well, things kind of smooth over, and then over time it gets faster that way, and you end up speeding up that way.
Yep. Well, you guys, that's a lot of tea spilled for anybody new coming in. We're going to do like a really short one, but that lasted a little bit longer. That's okay. So here's the thing. If there's something that you guys want to know, something that you guys want us to kind of go over, chat about, and kind of give you guys a little bit of inside scoop on whatever we do behind the counter that you're curious, hop on our YouTube, first of all. Click that subscribe button and then that bell notification. That way you get notifications on when the new stuff comes out, new episodes come out. And then hop in the comment section. Let us know any topics or any types of discussions that you guys want us to go over, because we want to make sure that we create content and have conversations that deliver value for you and to you. So with that, this ends our episode, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye,
See
guys.
you later.
Bye.